Our very special guest with us today is Mr. Melvin Siner. He is an expert consultant in financial services, and I thought it no more befitting than to have him come on and talk with us today about discovering our options to financial freedom. So, Melvin Siner, thank you so much for joining us on Promising Me Unleashed.
Well, how are you today?
All is well. All is well. I'm very excited about this conversation, as you probably know, because there is a need for us to understand one thing more about money and then securing our financial future. So I thought you would be the perfect person to come on and just share with us your knowledge about how we can do that. Now, there are four things that I wanted us to kind of bounce around, and I wanted to get your opinion about them as it relates to paychecks. I think there are four categories that people fall into as it relates to getting paid. Well, the
Mhm.
first is no paycheck at all.
Right.
Okay. The second one is a paycheck that they're waiting for. It could be that they're on some
Right.
type of
Right.
public assistance or
Assistance. Right.
um,
Right.
waiting for a check. And then those who are making it from paycheck to paycheck, and then those who are earning a living and getting a paycheck. And what is the
Mhm.
common factor amongst all of those people and those paychecks?
Well, let's address the first one.
Uh-huh.
No paycheck. That's always the problem. I think we have to really align ourselves with the fact that money is an emotional topic. It's not a logical topic. It's an emotional topic because when you have a lot of it, you're a lot happier than you have no money. I think we all can agree to that. So not having a paycheck, I think the best way to do that is if you're trying to find a job, you might be better off trying to create the income. I mean, yes, if you're a person that needs to be employed, don't be ashamed to go take a temporary job. You want to get rid of that temporary situation of not having money, right? So there's temp agencies that you can go to and things like that. But you can also use the talents that God has given you and create your income. I mean, what's wrong with having a bakery out of your home? What's wrong with, don't be ashamed to go cut grass. Lawn care is a lucrative business, especially in the South, especially for homeowners right now, because homeowners don't want to cut their grass in the summer. It's 90 degrees. So the person who creates money or does what other people don't want to do, they end up making a lot of money. All you have to do is find a need and fill it.
Right.
That's how you actually get to the point where you're able to create income.
Right.
So you can go from having no job to having income just by using using the resources that are available to you right at that moment.
Right. Right. That's great. So how about a person that is waiting for a paycheck?
If you're waiting for a paycheck, you there's a couple of things in that. Are you working? Are you in a job or in a situation that you actually like? Because did you just accept that situation? Maybe you needed a job at that moment and you accepted that job. So now it's time to, once you get yourself quote unquote stabilized, it's time to explore. You don't need to be stuck in a situation that's not providing you your basic needs. That's the definition of insanity, to do the same thing over and over and over, expect a different result. If you're in a job and that job's not fulfilling your financial needs, you need to do yourself a favor. Really take a hard look at what's going on and start using your skills again to go supplement your income, because you need to have multiple streams of income. You know, J. Paul Getty said you can have 1% of 100 or 100% of one. See, if you got a job, all your income comes from one source. You cut that income off, you don't have any income coming in.
Right.
But if you have 1% of other people's efforts, you're always going to have income coming in. So you need to create multiple sources of income that have nothing to do with you. What we call it mailbox money. You're going to want to figure out how to create that mailbox money.
Wow. So how about those who are living from paycheck to paycheck?
Well, again, I think I'm gonna go back to that same category. It's the definition of insanity. Don't repeat the same behaviors over and over and over and expect a different result. How can you create income? Again, money is a very emotional conversation. If you get a paycheck and it comes in, and then after you hit a couple of easy, because you got either automatic pay or you're still cutting checks or whatever, how you're paying your bills, right? And that money is gone, you're gonna start getting depressed. That's just the nature of it. You're gonna say, what am I working for? I don't want to just work to pay bills.
Right.
So your best bet is to start looking at ways that you can get your time back, because that's the most important commodity that you have. We can make more money, but we can't get more time.
Right.
So we need to figure out how you can create money without you always having to be the one present and exchanging your time for money in order to get it. Because that is a very sucky feeling to go to work and to know that that check is going to be gone. That particular check is going to be gone. Because if you have a family, they're going to still want to go to Disney World, Universal Studios, and all these little vacation things. And they're going to be trying to think about, why can't mommy and daddy provide that for me?
Right.
So we need to be able to help you create income and get your money back. I mean, I'm sorry, not your money, your time back.
Right.
Because again, that's your biggest commodity. So again, let's think about what's available to you. What is your skill set? Can you bake? Or can you spend some time actually starting a lawn service? Are you using the stock market? Because that's your money working for you without you having to do anything.
Right.
Are you, is your money just sitting in the bank, or is it really, really working for you?
Right. That's
so those are things we really need to think about.
Right. And so I guess it's the same thing for people who are making a pretty decent salary and getting a pretty decent paycheck. But I would assume even with that, they've got to make sure that that money is working for them, right?
That is correct. And then you have to think, am I one phone call away, even in my decent paying job, from not having a job? Or am I an accident away from not being able to take care of my family? If I get into a car accident, can I provide for my family? How's that income supplemented?
Right.
We got to create emergency funds. You're going to have to make yourself bulletproof in order to really survive financially in this world. You can pray, but prayer without work is dead. So we got to use our brains in order to start thinking about what happens when.
Right.
It's not if. I think that's what we underestimate. We underestimate the if, because stuff is going to happen. It's what do I do in response to it? Because most people are a incident away from their home from being in poverty. The air conditioner going out, the car being totaled and it being your fault, the pipe busted in the house. Those are all things that will drain your savings very quickly.
Right.
So we got to start accommodating for that.
Right. And I'm glad that you said that, because I don't think people think in terms of emergency funds and having that available outside of their normal savings even. You can have a checking account, you can have a savings account, but you need that emergency fund account or that vacation account. And how do you generate income that will allow you to pour into those accounts so that they're available when you need them? So listen, let's talk about the age groups. Let's talk about the singles, those who are, I guess, what's the age ring when we talk about, let's talk about singles first. What should they be doing to start preparing to build their financial portfolio, if you will?
Save and save early, and not just in a bank account. You have to use the market. You have to use the power of compound interest. That's what's going to get you to your retirement and to your savings goals faster. So most people need to learn how to automate their life.
Right.
You get money that comes to your account.
I was just going to ask you, can you explain compound interest? Because I don't think most people understand what that means.
Compound interest is your money working for you without you having to do anything. It's the most powerful force in the universe. Money has rules. One rule of money is the rule of 72. You take 72 and you divide it into the interest rate, and that's how many years it's going to take for your money to double at that interest rate. The lower your interest rate, the longer time it's going to take for your money to double. So we have to use the market, not the bank, to save. The bank should be used to take care of your bills. Your money should be saved in the market. The market being, if you had your job, a 401k, starting an IRA. Those are just the retirement situation. But you also need to have money in accounts that double, that you can get access to. Because I have one of my mentors say, if you save money, one day money will save you.
Right.
because you don't know what you're saving it for. You really don't know what you're saving it for. You just need a lot of it.
Right. Right. Okay. So for the singles, you're saying start early. And what would that,
Start early.
okay. What would that kind of look like for them? Like what would
I
that?
would say 10%. Start with 10%.
Mhm,
Just like you would pay a tithe at a church, pay
mhm,
yourself. You're the most important business going on. You are a business. I am Signer Inc.
right.
So I need to make sure that I make money.
Right.
If I'm paying everybody else, did I pay myself?
Mhm, mhm.
That's
Very
important. So you pay yourself.
okay. Okay. So those are the singles. Let's talk about the married people. Let's say married with children. What should that
Hmm.
kind of start to look like for them, and how early should they begin to save from a family perspective?
As soon as you get married, or even before.
Mhm.
If you're putting that much detail into your wedding, you need to put even more detail into the savings. The wedding's going to last you 15 minutes.
That's the
You'll be
truth.
done in 15 minutes, but you'll have the rest of your life to live with each other. So again, saving early and saving often. Again, I believe people should automate their life. When money comes in, it needs to start going in the directions that make sense for saving. Just
Mhm.
like you pay your bill, pay yourself.
Right.
Automated so your money automatically gets invested into an investment account. Uh, Automatically goes into an account that's for saving. Automatically goes into a vacation fund.
Mhm.
Make it so that you don't have to think about it. Because when you think about it, you might get emotional about it. Because again, money is an emotional. It's either if you don't want to believe it or not, it's emotional. Because if I asked you to give me all your money, you would make a face right now. You would like, So that's an emotion.
Right.
Because you don't want to give me all your money.
Right.
So why are you giving it to everybody else?
Hmm. Hmm. That's good. That's good. And also, I guess it's tiered when you talk about savings money, as you've already indicated. You have savings, vacation, um, a home fund, home emergency fund. How about the investing part as far as investing into the market? Would that also be maybe making considerations as it relates to percentages of your income that would
It
be
should.
sensible?
It should. I think that everybody has a when you get a mortgage they have a debt to income ratio.
Hmm.
How much money you got going out versus how much money actually stays. You need to have that for your house. How much money is actually going out and how
Right.
much money is actually staying, and where is it going?
Hmm.
I mean, it's going to take some discipline in the beginning, and I think that's what everybody kind of boo-hoos it. Like,
Hmm.
oh, I want to keep, I don't, but no, you really need to develop that discipline in your life to whereas you can know exactly where your money's going.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
You really want to know where it's going. Is it going towards debt? Is it going towards fast food? Is it going towards Netflix? Is it
Right.
going towards Hulu? Where is your money going? And where can you stop saving money? I mean, where can you save money at so you can reallocate it? And then ultimately, if you really want all these things, the biggest question is how are you going to bring more money into your house
Right.
and still have a balance? So
Right.
everybody's looking for balance, but at some point in time in your life, it's going to be unbalanced because you're going to have to put more towards earning income and saving money than you will be in quote unquote doing the fancy things in life, such as the vacations. You might have to take a couple of year break, maybe 2 year break on the vacation and put that money up and lay the foundation for where you want to be financially. Everybody wants to live their best life.
Right.
So what is your best life? Is your best life in poverty or is it accumulating assets that bring you money?
Right.
You have
Right.
to you're gonna have to make a decision ultimately.
Right. Right. That's great. That's great. So we looked at the married couples and those with children. Um,
Oh, one more thing I want to say about married couples.
yes.
If you are married, you need to put life insurance in place because while you're in the asset accumulation stage of your life, if you don't have that in place, God forbid you leave this earth sooner than you anticipate, how are you leaving your family? That's
Right.
something that you have to definitely evaluate, even as a single person, but definitely, definitely, definitely as a married person. You have to
Right.
evaluate that and make sure that foundation is in place, and
Mm.
not just at your job. So that's what you think. If I have a job, I got life insurance. Well, what if you decide to leave your job? You don't have life insurance.
Right. 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 So you're recommending and suggesting that people get life insurance outside of their places of employment.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's the same for the children. Because a lot of times people think,
And
oh, I'm just going to insure myself, but those children should be covered also.
your children should be covered as well, simply because, God forbid something were to happen to your kids, how you gonna pay for their funeral?
Right.
And then that's an emotion. Again, that's an emotional situation. You lost your child. It's gonna be devastation. How long can you be off work and grieve?
Mm.
So you got to think about those things, because I know you're gonna grieve. Nobody hates their child.
Right.
So
Right.
how's that affecting you emotionally?
Wow. Wow. Okay. So we talked about singles, we talked about married. How about those folks who are nearing retirement? And let's say they hadn't really invested the way they probably should have. And again, we never know how long a person is going to live. But if we counted, if we're blessed enough to see 70 and we're currently, let's say, I don't know, 55, okay, starting late, what can we do at that age to really begin to look at some type of investment opportunity?
It's two ways you can use compounding, the compounding factor that I talked about. You can compound money, or you can compound people. You probably want to start a small business to where you don't have to be the person doing the action that brings the money in. Again, maybe you're at the age of 55 and you're behind, but you have a lot of cash coming in. So maybe what you want to do is go hire some young folks and get a lawn service going.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't have to be there to make money. You got the other people doing it. Or maybe you want to start some type of baking service, because there's really four ways you can make money. You can be an employee, you can be self-employed, you can be a business owner, or you can be an investor.
Right.
So if you got to think of what category are you going to fit in, because the employee means you got to exchange your time for money. Self-employed means you got to be the one taking all the action. The business owner has a system in place. And then the investor, of course, has money working for them. Right. So if you're behind the eight ball, you got to really take an honest look. Where am I in this system? If I'm on the employee and self-employed side, then I need to somehow get over to the investor slash system, business owner side. Mm-hmm. So either you can plug into a system to make that happen, or you're going to have to create the system. But again, time may not be on your side. So you might want to find a system that can work for you, so that you don't have to be the one actually doing all the work.
Wow. 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 I love this, because, people just need to hear the realistic perspective on, one, money, but two, and more importantly, how to invest that money to build wealth, personal wealth, financial wealth for their families, and the wealth of their children and generations to come from there on. So I appreciate this candid conversation on money. Is there anything else that you think would be of value for people to know and understand about money, and about how to invest their money?
Start now, no matter what age you are. If you haven't started, start now. If you're young, start now. Start where you're at. Don't let your age be the factor.
Right.
You need to start, because if you don't start, it'll never happen.
Right.
That's the biggest thing about money. Start now. I don't care if you're 21. Start saving now. Get used to putting money up. If you're 55 and you're behind, start now, because right. you got to stop leaving stuff up to chance. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You have the power. Faith without work is dead. You might want to retire, but what does the work say?
Right.
So if you're not putting in the work right now, start now.
Wow. Wow. Well, I think that's the best advice we can get for how to discover our options in regards to building wealth and becoming financially stable. Mr. Signer, how can people get in contact with you to learn more about financial services and how they can grow their financial portfolio?
Sure, you can reach out to me. My phone number is 317-460-0060. I know that's a lot of zeros. That's why I kept that phone number. And they can talk to me directly. I'm available most times. If I don't answer, please feel free to leave me a message. I normally call back within 15 to 20 minutes. because I'm here to help. If there's any way I can help someone build their financial portfolio or just think about money in a different way, that's what I'm here for.
Wonderful, wonderful. Do you have an email also?
Yes, you can email me. My email address is Melvin, which is my first name, MELVIN, period, L, period, Signer, which is my last name, spelled S as in Sam, INER, @gmail.com. Just feel free to shoot me an email. Again, I'll probably respond to you within 10 to 15 minutes, and we can set up a time to talk.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Melvin, I thank you so much for this candid conversation.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.